NMF TV. Silence your radio, kill your television. NMFTV.com. Why did you refuse to be the Azkals head coach countless times?
I've been there, done that. Too much politics, like I said. Like I posted one time a few days ago, coaching is a thankless job. With what's happening with Michael Weiss, we talked about it already before, personally, one-on-one, and I said, it happens. And I said, you should know that because you worked also somewhere in other countries as well. There's no such thing as a permanent job in coaching, in any sport.
Hi folks, welcome back to Hands On. It's been a bit of a wait, but we're back. Once again, thanks to Sarah's Football Club for supporting the show and for each and every one of you who are subscribed and watch this on YouTube or on the NMF TV website. We appreciate you guys so much. Lots to talk about, lots of things have been going on. Of course, the Suzuki Cup, it's in the final stages right now. Thailand and Malaysia are battling off. The second leg is about to come around soon.
Who wants to bet? I'm for Thailand.
I'm with Thailand. Yeah, nobody's going to take that bet. Thailand's up by two goals heading into the home leg of Malaysia. But we're not going to talk about that just yet. We're going to talk about everything else for the time being, all right? So, Coach Hans, how you feeling, sir?
Tired. But for the people, I'm here.
I think before we introduce our guests formally, we have a bit of a clip that we wanted to show everybody, sort of to get to know sort of the relationship between Coach Hans and our distinguished guest for the day. So yeah, just very quickly. Also, for each and every one of you, not sure when you guys are going to watch this or listen to this, but happy holidays to you, Merry Christmas or a Happy New Year, depending when it is that you listen to this. So yeah, why don't we play that clip real quick before we go on to the rundown and talk about everything else.
What
all right?
This?
I don't know. Our producer Ange was talking to me a while ago, and she was telling me that she had prepared something special, particularly for this show.
Is this something when I slap this guest of ours or whatever?
But I hear it's like it's a nice moment between the two of you.
Oh, all right.
It's a nice.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Scandal nga.
Ito na nga, yung goal ni Phil Young husband over to his left foot. Am I able to get it through? That is
yeah, you guys didn't know you guys were being filmed at the time, but yeah.
Direct, put it up before the end.
So without further ado, let's welcome him in. Current manager of newly retired player. And now team manager of Loyola Meralco Sparks. Let's welcome to the show,
Jason Webb.
Armand del Rosario. Welcome, buddy.
Well, thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Coach.
So you would have a nice perspective of the Suzuki Cup as well. You had a chance to call some of the games with our good friend Bob Guerrero, who was on the show last time. So yeah, let's talk about the Suzuki Cup. Obviously, we experienced some losses in Vietnam in the group stages, and then Thailand when it came around to the semifinals. It was 0-0 in the home leg, and I'd like to talk about some things in the home leg. First and foremost, it was a real pain in the ass to get inside of the venue.
Blood boiling already.
Man, it was amazing. Like I came in, I didn't know if I was gonna make it on time. I had come from work in Tagaytay, so I made like the 2.5-hour drive over. I came in, and then this long line all the way to sa tapat ng Harrison. We were on the island. We were like inches away from trucks passing by. I'm like, dude, what kind of a system did you guys put up here? And then there's one tent, only one tent. That's for the claiming and for like buying tickets, which is ridiculous. And then consistently people are passing through the line to get into the venue. So everybody's like sneaking in. And there's one line that becomes two lines and then it merges back into one line. And there's an asshole who tried to cut in line a couple as well. It was like, man, it wasn't like people weren't interested to come. That's not the reason why.
The Filipinos are used to the traffic here, that's why. So that's how they line up too.
It's like
there's a law against that.
Which one?
Cutting in line.
Well,
yeah,
it's ridiculous. Anyways, the stadium was reasonably packed. I mean, it wasn't packed to the fullest, but it was reasonably filled. But it wasn't at the start of the game because everybody had a hard time getting inside. So I was like 10 minutes late as well, going inside. But I mean, it was a
Number
fun
one
game.
question when I read about it, like a lot of people when I was outside the stadium, they're all complaining.
Yeah.
In basketball, what kind of this? You buy a ticket, but you get a claim stop. Then you get the ticket when you're here and all that. I mean,
Kalokohan.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you paid online so that you can get there early. I mean to get your ticket early, but then you have to line up anyway.
usually, guys, like if there's serial numbers, ticketing, serial numbers, that's for control.
Right.
I don't see any control with paying for your ticket, but you just get a claim stop. Then you go there and you have to line up again. This makes, like what you just said, it'll piss off everybody.
Yeah.
Because I can go home and just go there before 10 minutes before the match starts. I just have to enter. The line, might be a line, but it's going to be a short line because you just get a ticket, bang, inside, they'll tear it up. But to claim...
What's the capacity of Rizal anyways?
Yeah?
13,000.
Yeah, that's what I...
Right, 13,000. There's 1/10 there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's two
ridiculous.
people.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. That's ridiculous.
No, there is something definitely wrong.
Yeah.
Well, one, for PFF, they had a short week to put that all together.
Yeah.
Two, thank God for me, I didn't have to go through all that crap because I got in early. I had the pass, luckily, and
Right.
you know. But it was nice to see the stadium get full eventually, or close to full.
Yeah.
It was nice.
You guys, no. Me personally, I'm not satisfied.
Well,
With the crowd,
no, yeah. I mean, we've seen it full, more filled than that before. But given the way things have been going, I mean, how the attendance has been in the last few games, that was decent. It's good.
remember, we've had a lot of tweets and comments and on hands-on and all this. It's all because of the crowd are, what do you say, nawawalan gana because of these strict rules. All this, I'm sorry, but it's stupid. Because we showed live games in Singapore, was it?
Yeah.
Vietnam,
Yeah.
Indonesia. I mean, you know, the giant flags are there, the drums are there, the horns are there.
Yeah.
People drinking beer.
I think that's the beer is
That
what
way-
makes it even better. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to be there to drink the beer.
Exactly. I mean,
I was with my nephew,
Yeah.
Australian. Since he was alone, he was doing anything, so I brought him along, right? Then he says, Tito, where can we get a beer here? Oh, welcome to the Philippines. So he had to step out, go to HP with a new friend, Ivan.
yeah.
They grabbed one mug, then came back before the game.
Yeah.
Then he was telling us, Tito, why like that here? In Australia, any match, everybody's drinking, everybody's having fun. He was surprised at the crowd like this. Because I really expected, I wanted that the stadium was filled up to the rafters.
Yeah.
But you saw it, there were a lot of empty
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah.
Even in the bleachers in the grandstand,
Yeah.
right?
There are pockets. But
But
fair play to the team, though. I mean, what a performance they put on in the home leg. It
Yeah.
was very impressive.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah.
thing that was missing was the actual
Yeah.
goal.
Goal.
That was it. That was the only one. But were you guys surprised at how we dominated Thailand here?
Oh, wow. For me, I was looking at this whole tournament and worried when they played Thailand in the
stage.
the
Stage?
friendly, in the friendly.
And a friendly.
Right. Yes.
And they lost, what was it, 3-0?
Yeah.
They got completely dominated. And I said, oh my God, come Suzuki Cup, these guys might just get
But
hammered.
it was a new
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
It was an entirely new team.
For
The
us.
friendly, no,
For
the
them.
friendly and the Suzuki
Yeah.
team of Thailand.
You know,
Yeah.
the midfield was different, lineups were different.
From what I heard, the first 11, majority of the first 11 have been together since 15, 16 years old. It's a program.
Yeah, but they're very.
Which, sadly to say, everybody knows that we have to do it in the Philippines, but never happens. Anyway,
Well, it's gonna happen now. I think.
Hopefully.
like I said, I'll believe it when I see it. I've been there, done that.
Yeah, these guys are an average of what, 23, 24, the
23,
team?
24 years old.
That China Tip guy is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
He's freaking
Little one.
amazing. That
He's
little-
called
that
number
little-
18?
Yeah, little
He's
Messi.
called the Messi. Little
Yeah.
Messi of
Yeah.
Thailand.
Little Messi. He's amazing.
He's for real.
Yeah.
It was.
He didn't do much in our home game.
Yes, exactly.
You know, we
He
did
was
well
shut
to
down.
limit him. You
Yeah.
know.
Amani was particularly was a main focal point for Thailand heading into that leg for them. Obviously, he instigated a bit of a situation with their striker.
No, that's still questionable. You don't know.
well-
People say they see it, the replay.
Yeah.
Me, I just keep the benefit of the doubt. Whoever started.
I think it's like it's his job to rile up the striker.
course,
That's
of
his
course.
job, right? He's a young guy, and you know, he's trying to make life
You were a
difficult.
tough, dirty player back in your day.
Tough, not dirty. Excuse me, folks.
I was in that situation before. You know how it is. You give a little shove here to get them in their head.
It's nothing, let's say, for the Filipino, those who still don't know, it's not bastos. Okay, bastusan is, you know, you put your kili-kili in front of his face and all that, things like that. No, but the replay, the slow-mo that they showed, the camera angle is too far. Yeah, you see Amani go like this. But people are speculating, saying things.
Yeah, no.
Okay? I'm sorry, Bob, you were saying that he put a
People are saying
headbutt.
no, he didn't headbutt. Like, you know, like he was putting his head close to the guy, maybe saying some nice words to him as well.
But, you know, I'll tell you one thing. Not all Thais know English.
Yeah, so it doesn't really
And maybe
matter.
Amani said it also in Bisaya, you know, or something. You don't know.
But there's no doubt that the guy swung his arm after,
He did.
right? So
Amani, I don't think did anything
that's
physical.
what counted.
No, what happened was Amani kind of shoved him like that in the back, diba?
Right.
And I'm sure previous to that moment, Amani was probably in his pocket, giving him shoves and elbows or whatnot. Throughout the course of a game, you're going to be throwing elbows, you're going to be getting shoved, you're going to
It's part of the game.
Yeah. So
It's not really to hurt, but it's to intimidate and to protect yourself, mainly. You know, lest that people get a wrong idea that football players do this purposely to hurt. No. Of course, there are some when there are challenges, like if you're in each other's face for a whole 90 minutes, something bound to happen unless you kiss and, you know, lip lock. But that's not going to happen.
There's certain players you want that to happen against. You know, whenever I played against Kaya after I moved to Loyola, there was every time I got onto the field, I always went after one person in particular.
And it's going to happen.
At Global, I always Misak comes my way. I make sure the ball or Misak. It's not both, and it's normally the ball gets by Misak doesn't. And Misak hates playing against me. So yeah.
But please don't tell the people where you heard that.
The famous coach, my former coach,
in the States, since high school coach. Yeah.
So Amani Aguinaldo in the home leg in the Thailand leg, he was booed a lot. Like, that's a stadium of how many people? 60,000, 70,000?
I think it was close to 80.
Jesus.
Something like that.
So it's just, you know, screaming, booing down on him at 19 years of age. Man, he handled himself
He did
really well.
I was proud of Amani. I was just waiting for him to lose his head, you know. Because there are only two things that you can think of under a young player who's not that experienced yet. If you're being booed all the time, it's either you freak out or you go in the corner and cry and sulk. Amani just continued playing.
Yeah.
He handled himself pretty professional.
If anything, it looked like it spurred him on a little bit. He had one of his better games.
He didn't change his game.
You know what? 2 years ago, Amani was with Meralco. Okay, playing with him, he was very raw and for one reason or another, he left Meralco to go to Global. He left FU to go to UP.
Yeah.
And whatever reason it was, if it was the management, the coach, or financial, I don't know. You know, I wasn't managing then. But whenever we would
Or
play
playing
against
simple
him,
wrong
you know,
advice.
Well, it's worked out for him.
Yeah.
Well, back then we'd say, okay, great. He's with Global. He's going to start for them. Awesome. Take it to Amani.
Yeah.
You know, but even 6 months ago when you saw him play in the Maldives, the first game he went on, 6 balls out of bounds to nobody.
Right.
It was just, man, nightmare. Nightmare.
Yeah.
And I was questioning putting him in up until the Suzuki Cup. But in that Thailand game, the whole tournament, for the most part, he did a decent job. He knows his role. He's maybe not the most composed guy under pressure, so he'll get the ball and pass it out. Get the ball, pass it out. He won't hold on to it.
You know
too
what?
long.
I think even with Amani, of course, my views are always a view of a coach. Like things that we're talking about this with Amani. But I think we should give credit to 2 coaches, Lee Manson and of course Thomas Dewey.
Yeah.
Because in the span of how many months, we can't deny it. We've seen the growth, maturity of Amani. Okay, so even if he never came to LaSalle because he stayed with his Korean coach, it's okay with you, Amani. It's okay. Screw you. So,
No, but you're right. He was very composed.
Yeah.
he was,
Especially in that Thailand game.
I was just waiting for him to lose his game
Yeah.
Right.
with the booze and all that, but no, he stayed on.
Surprisingly, it was
stayed on.
the guy who has been cool, calm, composed since he's come into the national team has been Sato. And in the opening 30 minutes of that game, he was just somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
he was missing. He was lost.
Yes, he was lost.
For me, I like Sato. I like Sato a lot. If I could get Sato over to Meralco, why not, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I think he's looking for something abroad, something a bigger challenge for him. You know, he shocked me when I first saw him, because I don't really watch Sato play until I got to do the games. And when I would see him at the games, every time a winger would come down his side.
Yeah.
How many times? If they came down 10 times, maybe 1 or 2 crosses got in because he'd get in front or make them play back.
Right.
You know, so he'd do a good job of that. You know, in that last game, unfortunately, he was off. Maybe tired. I don't know. Players are allowed to have games off.
Exactly.
You know, in the beginning of the tournament, if you look at Manny Ott, on fire at the beginning of the tournament, just amazing. But then as the games went on, he kind of slowed down a little bit. Maybe that's a lot of games, a lot of minutes. And
There's a lot of factors you'll never know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors. I mean, Ronaldo, the last World Cup when he was puking all over the place, but he wanted to play because that's his duty, it's his responsibility. That's just nerves. He wasn't sick.
Was it Cristiano who was?
No, Brazil, Ronaldo.
Oh, that Ronaldo.
The guy who got cut with the transfer sites. That Ronaldo.
What do you think was the main reason? Was the team just off against Thailand?
A lot of factors.
Thailand
You have to
is
count a lot
good.
of factors.
That's one.
Yeah.
Thailand is amazing.
You know what? I'll
They're
tell
good.
you one thing. Even when you're still in your dugout and you hear all these freaking chants of full volume, and when the coach is talking, giving instructions, how much do you want to bet? Not all the players are listening 100% because they're getting nervous because they're hearing this.
Right.
And the crowds in all Azkaleros, Futcaleros, or whatever, what are the other groups? Cajoneros and all that. And
I
the
think you said that
Philippine
twice,
fan.
but,
Philippine fan. You need to do this. In other countries, they know. It's unwritten. Right away. Bang. Let's get the other team, the away team, visiting team, let them get the jitters.
They have to act like a 12th man.
Exactly.
The fans really should be a 12th man for the team.
Exactly, but here in the Philippines, the 12 man is cut into.
So do you think that was? Do you think it was the nerves?
Partly.
Because of the stadium?
Yes, partly.
Because it was a stark contrast to the home game, our home game, and watching the team dominate Thailand
You can see
to a
the
certain extent.
confidence of our Azkals when they play here.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah. It took us a while.
The confidence level is much higher.
Yeah.
But I agree with Armand because there's a lot of factors, like I said. The 12th man, the presence of the 12th man number is one. The fatigue factor. But they were given, 2-3 days to rest, which is really good.
Yeah.
Because you cannot freaking play. It's only here now in the Philippines that you play today and tomorrow again. You know? That's stupid. Anyway, but that's because of this.
Right.
Time. If you know what I mean. Too much, no time. So, when they do that, that's why I said no. Through my experience, it had to do with something else.
What do you think that is?
Because, number one, I got shocked with Patrick Beto.
Yeah.
He had his headgear, and I saw all the kinesio tapes around his neck. So, were they all due respect to Thomas, and Sebastian and Jorge, if you don't know, they're the coaches of the Azkals. Either they were trained too hard or too soft. Then suddenly, it has something to do with that also.
They hit a wall.
Yeah, that could happen because they tried to make a go of it in the second leg. You can see.
Yeah.
At least we tried. And Thomas, for all those, like, here I go again. For all you gago people who write and comment about, take him back, meron pa dyan, bring back Wise.
Oh, God, please. No. God forbid.
Who said that? Can I see your name?
Yeah.
I want to see that. Who said that?
Nothing against the other personalities, coaches, right? It's not that. I mean, you people, if we are winning, oh, puta, kung ano nung sinisulat nyo. Nice. We lose. Here you go again saying stuff. You don't even freaking know what you're talking about.
Right.
Okay? And you are bandwagon people.
Yeah, which I mean, it's irrelevant what they think. If you're gonna say stuff like that,
it pisses me off to say things like that.
I know, but I'm
Blow hot, blow cold. You know, if you're a fan, you're a fan. Corner, win or lose, you're a fan.
right. But what I want to know, like, what do you think, Armand? What did you think was? I mean, aside from the potentiality of obviously the 12th man, Do you think it was jitters? Do you think it was...
Okay, let's put it all into perspective. I think that this team in the home leg showed that on any given day, they can compete with the best
match up, yes.
in Southeast Asia, which has not been the case for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
In my lifetime, probably.
Yes,
you know?
no doubt.
And it just shows that every tournament they're improving.
Yeah.
And it shows that if they can continue to improve, who knows, by the next Suzuki Cup, we might be champions. We might be in that finals, you know? And what I'd like to see personally was on that field, you look from forward all the way back to the goalie. How many of those players play here in the Philippines, in the UFL?
That's right.
The only...
Rob.
Just
Gear
Rob and Martin.
And there was and Lucena.
That's
Three
right.
guys.
Yeah,
Three guys on that pitch that don't play here. Even the subs that went in, all play here.
Yes.
That's right.
You know, so
play here.
I think that also has something to do with, you know, the guys getting to know each other, playing together, playing locally, coming together for camps. That does a lot for the national team. And, you know, hopefully in 2 years' time, we take that next step again and make it to the finals.
There's a thing there a lot of people don't understand is what when Thomas did first half alone. Okay, Daisuke was not playing too well. He put Martin back there, attack. Why? Because we're behind. And because of the aggregate. Okay, folks, there's an aggregate. Away goal is 2 points, not 2 goals. It's 2 points. It's a plus factor. And Thomas Dooley made his adjustments first half. First half alone, he already made adjustments. Obviously, because he put all attacking players, all the subs are all attacking. I don't think he put anybody in. We're talking about the second leg.
Hartman.
I don't think he put in anybody from the back line.
No, I mean he had to take off Sato. He took off. Did he take off Rota?
Yes.
Yeah, but the people who came in were he had Martin. He had Patrick Reichelt come on. Hartman came on late. And who was the other person that came on?
His regular formation changed into about a 3-5-2, which is an attacking formation, which we have to give to Thomas Dooley because his back, the Azkals' backs were against the wall. So you need to do something. You have to gamble. I mean, like I said before, coaching is it's a gambling thing. I mean, anybody who knows his football will say, you know, of course, everybody is a sports guru here, and they have their own ideas. But in football, when you see that, why the heck will you put defenders when you need to score?
Does anybody question the substitutions that were made?
There were.
I mean,
posts, tweets, and
how big of a factor was Patrick Reichelt's health? I mean, he didn't get to start the last 2 games.
I think that's something to do with his knee.
I spoke to him, and he goes, you know, in I forgot what game it was, if it was Vietnam or Indonesia. He got kicked really hard.
What game did he score?
Was that Indonesia?
After that.
So he got kicked really hard in the knee, and he was worried that he was done. He thought he ruined his knee, but after all the checkups and all that, he was okay, but still in pain. He was on major painkillers. The home game versus Thailand, he was on major painkillers. He had to have an injection, you know, to numb the pain. So you know, it definitely was a factor to the team. If he could have played, it would have been a bonus for us.
I just felt like, you know, losing Patrick Reichelt was a big deal for us because of the speed that he brings up front and the space that he creates.
But you could see that when he got in, the usual headers at the angle that he was in, that's supposed to be an in, but it went lob, you know, easy pickings for the keeper.
Just, but like, I mean, who was starting in his position? No disrespect to Paul Mulders, but he's not the quickest guy.
Well, you know what? That's another thing. You know, I've been talking about that with Simon McMenemy, and Paul Mulders hasn't been playing in the UFL. He hasn't been playing in his home country.
He hasn't been playing, period.
And you know, so when Dooley says we're gonna select guys that are here, that are playing, that are training, that are this and that, and he brings a guy who's he's great quality, no questions, right? But when he brings in a guy that hasn't played for months or you know, for a while, and then puts him into games straight away, it's like it leaves yourself as a coach open to a lot of questions from your own players, not just from the from But it's a decision you have to make as a coach, and Mulder's not having played obviously showed a little bit. There was still some rust, but good player. He scored against Thailand. I think he was the last Filipino to score versus Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. So why not?
Right. Oh, was it Thailand? Where did he score against? Was it Vietnam that he scored the last one? We tapped in
for when we.
But he scored against Thailand
back. So the last Filipino to ever score versus Thailand, I think, was Mulder.
But in general, let me just put it this way: Thailand's way superior. Number one, because of the program. I was a few times in Thailand, Bangkok, and I saw their national youth teams train. They train better than some of our UFL teams. This is youth, under 19, if I'm not mistaken. The program is so different. Everybody knows their role, from the head coach down. Okay, the discipline is very different, and the obvious difference is the technique. Thailanders in, let's say, Southeast Asia, they're the Brazil, right? Like they say, Cameroon is the Brazil of Africa.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yeah. But I have a question. When you say we're far away, we dominated them first leg. Okay. Thailand did not win the Suzuki Cup 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Did not win 2 years prior to that.
But that's not the lineup.
Either.
See?
Yeah.
He wasn't the coach.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about Tirasil Dangda.
I think what coach is talking about is the structure from grassroots all the way up.
Right.
It's not yet there. Yeah. What we're doing is we're going from top down instead of from down up.
Exactly.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. But it leaves us having to get Filipinos in Europe, US, wherever they are, bring them over. And now that those guys that we've gotten are staying here now because we have a league that can afford to pay them for now, and which is a good thing for us. Now that we have this semi-established, let's now fix the grassroots and come up with a system from here.
And I'm surprised, not to take anything away from the PFF, Philippines was awarded the best grassroots program.
What?
During the celebration, yes. During the celebration, they were the ones who received the award for the best grassroots program.
What's the grassroots program?
I understand. Well, we had a chance to talk to Thomas Roy about it when he was on the show before. But I guess maybe most improved. We should have gotten that, maybe. But I don't know about.
Well, okay.
Or thrust on grassroots.
Right. Like, because I understand.
Not necessarily a program, but the thrust that we're looking into, because, I mean, why not? Because the other Southeast, our neighbors, let's just say South Asia, forget Asia, South Asia, because the others are already there.
Yeah.
They don't need to go. We have a long way to go in terms of that. The others are already there. They just need to maintain, tweak it a little bit, where we need to do a whole hell of a lot to get there.
Undoubtedly, for sure, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, but it's a start somewhere. But the problem with us here in the Philippines is there's no sustainability ever. I mean, I can say that with conviction.
Right.
You need a godfather like a Kawanko or Dan Palami from grassroots all the way up.
The thing is, though, like history-wise, you say history-wise, but also we've never had this type of attention to football before as well. So I mean, there's hope there.
No, losing by 3 in their homeland is good, because years ago we would lose by 7, 11. Shameful.
Yeah, exactly.
But now you can see the Thailanders, the sporters, they applauded the Azkals game. Oh, we were not dirty, we were hard.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you're gonna stop. How are you gonna stop a speeding car?
Yeah.
You gotta block it. You gotta stop it. One way or another, you gotta stop it. That's why I liked it when I saw Daisuke and even Phil and the others, after banging the thighs, understand, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the thighs, what do? He said, okay,
Just play on.
no problem.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, it's a different story. If you see people go, bang, 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 everybody flying away, fights here, you know, pocket fights everywhere, that's a different story. But you can see, definitely, our football has grown, has matured a bit. I only say a bit, because I'll say if it's there, once we're the champions of the Super Cup. But we're getting there. I mean, at least when Thomas Dooley talks, you can see just the effort of trying to back up what he has said.
Yeah.
Okay? It's something else if somebody talk big, but nothing happens.
Well, you have to give it to Thomas. He has the balls to bring in the young kids and play the young kids and play who he wants, what he wants, when he wants. And he has the balls to tell players straight, I can use you, I can't use you, this or that. Whereas Weiss didn't do that. Weiss would say one thing to your face and behind your back. You know, or he might not even go to you and tell you. You know, it would be another person to tell you things.
And he only chose the field foreigners.
Yeah.
And that's a huge deal. I think that's a huge deal. I mean, we've
But
established.
of course, there's still some people disgruntled regarding that because I've talked to some people, managers of some of your players, other people also in the know, supposedly, meaning in the know into the football scene, you know, right? Where no, he has to be changed. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Who? Thomas?
Yeah, things like that.
You know what? I said this the other day on air, and I said, Thomas Dooley is a guy you either love or hate. There's very little middle ground there. I respect him because he did a good job with the team, with what he had, developing them. Yeah, he's very demanding, especially taking our players, taking my Meralco players and you know, wanting them here now, this point in time. It gets frustrating because if these guys get hurt, it's Meralco money that's going out the window, right? You know, so you know, it's as a coach, as a development to football, he's doing a good job.
Right.
You know, players are either turned on or turned off by him. Okay. So if you're playing and if you're doing well, the players love him or like him.
Yeah.
If you're not playing so much and you're not getting the respect you feel you deserve, then obviously you don't like him.
You know, the stats is a good thing. Statistics are good for review, for evaluation. It's not like years ago wherein if you look at the stats on possession, Thailand will be 90.
Yeah.
Philippines will be 10%. Now you can see it's not, you know, Thailand 75, 70, 65. That's a fucking good deal. That's a good, I mean.
It was close to 50-50, if not us more about it at home.
The mere fact that we were able to hold possession and go on to attack, that says a lot already.
Not long ball, counter-attack, bahala na si Phil and James there.
And I think that's the main thing that we got to take away in terms of the context of the loss. A lot of people are saying wala namang kwente mo Azkals, talo naman sila. I think the context of it is huge because we barely made it to the semifinals. In fact, it was a miracle to make it to the semifinals in 2010. In 2012, we scraped through once again to the semifinals, and we just kind of showed that we could sort of hang in there.
Yeah.
We weren't really threatening.
Yeah.
This time around, when they talk about the contenders for the Suzuki Cup, we will be thrown in there along with Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. I mean, we weren't even in that conversation at all 6 years ago. So to be part of that conversation is a huge deal.
Yes.
And to say that we're failures because we lose in the semifinals, it's a bit much. It's
The
a bit much.
expectations of people are, you know, they're wanting a major jump straight away. It's something from zero to, you know, you
People are
can't.
forgetting that we were in the same shoes as Laos, Myanmar, and all that, where they had to qualify.
Right.
Now in 3
We were more like Timor-Leste, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
I think.
we're in.
Yeah.
We don't have to go through that. We're in.
Yeah.
And being in the semifinals, already it gives you that let's say that respectability, and of being in that as a ranked team.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go through the bottom, which we did, which we surprised everyone in 2010, right?
Yeah.
And we ended up in the semis. Nobody expected that. And the Philippines, let me tell you folks, the Philippines is the only country, the only team that came from the qualifiers that went straight to, that qualified for semis.
Right.
Qualifiers meaning,
we had to go to
Malaysia,
the
Singapore, Thailand, who were the other top teams?
Indonesia.
They were already there. So Philippines had to compete with the likes of Laos, Timor-Leste, Myanmar and all this. So to go up there. Now, 2 straight years, 2 straight stagings, the next one after 2010. Philippines doesn't, they're ranked.
Yeah.
And they'll continue to be ranked because of our qualification to the semis this year. So you guys need to, chill and think of what the guys had to go through.
Yeah.
The whole lot.
I think it's,
I mean, it's not an easy task.
It's not like, just need to be careful with like knee-jerk reactions and overhauling certain structures, because we're going in the right direction. It's about, making a concerted effort to just fix what areas we have holes in. I mean,
But you know what? I'll tell you one thing. All the coaches we've had, Simon, Weiss, Michael Weiss, and even Thomas Turing, they have all told me the same thing. Do we only get the players from the UFL? Is there no other talking back about grassroots? Okay, Bob in an article saying about the UAAP players. There are quite a few number of players there.
Yeah.
You don't look at them here like this and think right away, how can he play against Thailand? I cannot. It's your freaking job. If you see talent, to be a good coach, number one, is to know and identify talent.
Yeah.
If you don't know what talent is, then don't get the fuck out and do something else.
Right.
Don't coach football at all, because you need to see talent. And for a keen eyesight, mind of a coach, for a player, let's say in the UAP, a 16, 17-year-old, you can see it already. He gave Paulo Bugas a chance.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know if that was more because of global. Or
That's a good question.
Where was he when he was with Loyola?
Well, no, whatever. What I'm saying is, I talked to Pau, but the UAP started, so of course, the Korean coach, of course. So, but Pau was supposed to be at the Suzuki, the lineup. And if he was there, I think he would have been given a chance to get another cut, right? It needs more developmental programs, because if we're just looking at the UFL, a lot of the players from the UFL came from the UAP. But if we already start from the UAAP or the NCAA for that matter, or even the SQA or what have you, collegiate, okay, since we're a school-based country anyway, for sports and football especially, if they are identified, the lower levels are identified, then during the free time they can come up and train at a higher level.
Yeah.
And then it takes time. Then it's up to the coach to see. Boom. These guys, I think, ready. That's what they did with Amani.
Yeah.
That's what they did with Paulo. Who else? Patrick, Neto. I mean, it's there. The talent is there, but unfortunately, there's really no program.
Right, which we need to change in the next. I think it's a good thing that we get a chance to breathe a little bit. I mean, 2014 had so much riding on it. I mean, we had the Suzuki Cup, and then prior to that, we were preparing for the Challenge Cup. So now it's sort of World Cup qualifiers. I mean, we're not going to get crazy and think we're going to qualify for the World Cup, but we're going to try to do as best as we can, obviously. But I mean, it gives us a chance now to sort of breathe and take off the pressure from ourselves a little bit, and just allow some of the younger talent to come in and filter through.
I'm smiling. Jing, Armand, I'm smiling. That's what you guys were saying when you're talking. I was thinking about these people who are so negative, especially some managers, because their wards hasn't been played. So if the boss is benched, he doesn't know his job. He should be replaced.
Who's this manager that you're talking about?
I want to know. Who's benched?
Male,
I know so many people.
female,
Bading, tomboy.
No hints? No hints?
No. I'll tell you after the show.
Oh man!
I know who he's. He doesn't even have to say it. I know who he's talking about already.
No, the thing is, not just the I'm not talking about one person, an individual.
Look at you now.
Backpedaling.
I mean backtrack. I don't owe anyone anything. No explanation needed. The thing is, from what I heard, is dissatisfaction. While I was being told that, I was smiling inside because it's just like in the LSU, decades ago, I was the first one to violently oppose the ITEO, remember, evaluation. I said, what's evaluation? My players will evaluate me?
Yeah.
If you're a freaking bench player, you think you're going to give nice words?
Yeah.
Give me nice points? No way.
Yeah.
And they said, what the hell for is this? And I used to be the only two coaches in the LSU that were always excellent. That one was me, and one is Stephen Fernandez, Taekwondo. I said, what is this for? Is it supposed to increase our salaries or decrease? Nothing, nothing. Okay, so what the hell for? And I'll do it again. The next meeting I'm going to have, I'm going to violently oppose again. Take it out, because this is bullshit. So much paperwork. I'm a freaking coach. So now, Alvin, I told Alvin to PMC, you do it. Learn. I'm teaching you to be a head coach. Learn. I'm through with writing. I'm a coach. I'm not going to freaking write a novel.
Yeah.
Right? So, in different programs, you need, you know, think things up. Huwag yung banat ang banat lang kasi.
Right.
Ang nangyayari sa atin dito, banat ang banat eh.
So I mean, now that the Suzuki Cup is over, I mean, a lot of the highlight is now going to be about grassroots. It's going to be about the structure that we build around football now to help us 2 years from now and whatever. So I mean, that's our job, right? It's our job to make sure that that happens, is to continue to highlight the fact that there's a lack of progress.
I'll tell you, Jing, for so many decades, in all the schools, if you're talking about school-based, I'm the first one to put up a grassroots program in Suzuki.
Okay.
Decades ago. Now there are a lot more academies. Schools have their grassroots. Clubs have their grassroots.
Yeah, Loyola, I mean,
We have a lot.
Kaya.
Okay, we have a lot. Have they been identified? No. Has there been anything except for people like me, like Tomas Lozano, people who just want to put up festivals, football to get the kids to play. But we're just individual personalities. The program, where is it? Where is it going? Where is it going? Tell me. Where's it going? You know, there's not, before it's only a handful of grassroots programs. Now, it's a lot, even in the provinces, a lot.
Yeah.
But who put this up? Not the local FAs. Some maybe.
Yeah.
Some local
Private.
FAs, but mostly private.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's got to start from somewhere, right? If
that's why.
So PFF should fund these private institutions for putting up these.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Or fund the events that these private institutions go into. Anyway, neither.
So that's something that's a discussion that needs to be that needs to happen.
No, the grassroots, we have the grassroots, but it's private.
Right.
It's not a national. If the PFF has, we haven't heard about it. Sorry, Thomas Roy, but no. I like when Thomas Roy is here for the grassroots, right?
Yeah.
He's the man who's supposed to do it.
Yeah.
But like I told him, remember before, good luck.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna freaking get old here. If you're gonna stay for 3 years, times 3. Before you go back to Germany, you're 10 years older.
Let's go through some of the things that happened after
Now let's talk about
Suzuki Cup.
the Vietnam game.
What? Oh, right. Do you guys think that's match fixing? Vietnam losing to Malaysia
4-1
in the
first half.
semifinals. It was 4-1 in the first leg, and then they lost the second leg 4-2. Was it? What was it? What was
No, the second leg they lost.
Yeah, the
4-1.
second leg they lost by
In Vietnam, in Hanoi.
No, let me see it. Okay, so the first game was 2-1. Sorry,
Yeah.
2-1
They won.
to Vietnam, and then in the home leg they lost 4-2 to Malaysia.
4-2, 4-1.
4-2. I've got the notes here.
4-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll tell you. Fred Gonzalez used to play in Vietnam, and he'd say how some players would be bought off, and there was I think with his own team there were a couple players that
Right.
were investigated or proven to have been paid. So it's outside the Philippines. I think even in the Philippines it's starting to pop up. The betting, the gambling is starting to affect match fixing here.
Yeah.
Maybe not as blatant,
Right.
but definitely there's a lot of match fixing outside the Philippines, Vietnam, Singapore, and
Indonesia.
Yeah, Indonesia as well. All the big countries. I don't know so much about Thailand, but Vietnam, if it can happen at the club level, and these are the guys playing for the national team, it can happen for the national team.
I'll tell you, Southeast Asia, the top bet syndicates, football, not necessarily in this order, but Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam.
Wasn't like the biggest guy, the international betting, match fixing dude from Singapore? He was from Singapore, right? The guy who was doing international bettings, and he got.
You know the agent that caught this guy?
Yeah. No.
You were not there.
Not when you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first
No, I
time
wasn't there. No, I wasn't there.
My hotel room was the headquarters. We caught the syndicate.
Really?
The going rate's $80,000 US in a brown paper bag. The bet between the two guys is $250,000, and we're talking about how many years ago? The first Tiger Cup. So guess how much the bet is? One single game.
Millions.
They'll give you $80,000. Well, I don't want to mention names anymore because these guys are all retired and all that shit. When I come back, I didn't get anything. And then a certain player got awarded and cash and all that shit. Thank you, Philippines. Anyway,
That's what I was saying. When I saw that, when I heard the result for it too, I was like, dude, somebody just became a millionaire.
no, I saw the
Somebody
freaking
just
game. I
became a
said,
millionaire for sure.
I was surprised in the first half, but in the second half, I was saying, wait a minute. And then Bob texted me. He says that his friend in Fox Sports was saying something about. I said, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Because how can you play away and play that? What do you say?
How can you play at home and play that poorly?
No, no, I'm saying.
You know.
How can you play
Away and play that good.
and play that well?
Yeah.
And all you need to do is just win one game or even just draw.
Yeah.
Even if you lose, just or whatever, no? And then, but play that bad. First half. You mean to tell me these players, and the players of Malaysia, of Vietnam, are experienced players. Okay? They're all club players. And how come at their home, with the 12th man full, up to the rafters, screaming, supporting, but, you know, played like the first time they played together.
Yeah.
And if you looked at the, you know, when they were planning on the Japanese coach, I already knew what I was thinking. If that was me, I would say, he was just like that.
Yeah.
It was
you can see.
how do you say the word? Surrender.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Parang
He
the
gave up.
Japanese
there.
don't show emotions.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they'll just, what's happening here?
He was just leaning against
Yeah.
You know, the last time I saw something like that happen was Cotillas, when he just didn't know what to do. You know, when we ended up losing, when I was still with Kaya and Kaya lost to Loyola in that semifinal UFL Cup game. The coach that was defeated. You know, he goes. Obviously, he was just sitting here against the post, looking like this. He knew that this is not my team.
Yeah, it's exactly. That's what the Japanese coach of Vietnam was. I mean, you didn't see him really scream. He was giving instructions, but afterwards, you know, after something happens, the camera will come to him. He's just like that.
Helpless, huh?
That's me, and you'll see me do this.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'll be, you know, but he was just quiet. I think.
So definitely fishy. Definitely
Then
fishy.
I wasn't surprised. Was it 2 days, 3 days after? News came out that they will be investigated.
Yeah. I mean,
Nothing new, man.
Inevitable, right? They had to
Nothing new.
investigate that game. After the Suzuki Cup, Rob Gear saying that he's not announcing anything yet, but he thinks it's probably unlikely that he'll play another Suzuki Cup. Rob Gear, captain of the team, but probably correct in saying that it's unlikely that he's going to come out and suit up again. Who do you guys think will be there replacing his spot? I mean,
Wani's there,
Wani's,
but
remember,
he can't last much longer.
Yeah, so we need somebody to partner up with Amani, right?
Yeah, exactly. There are not too many good Filipino center backs out there, you know. Amani's done a great job. We have this young Filipino Australian coming in. He needs to get a little bulkier, a little bigger, a little more physical and faster before he can make the national team. But he's very calm and composed, and I think in time he'll be a great center back for the country. But You know.
Do you just scoot over Simone for the time being and play somebody at right
It's a
back?
good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. We just have to scout the UFL and see
Simone
around.
can play in the middle. But of course, when you play for a national side, you get your strongest and more experience, so he's put in the wing.
It's also because he doesn't play any center back. I mean, for Stalin, he plays holding midfield or he plays right back. So it'll be interesting to see who comes in and replaces Rob Gier in the middle. PFF has agreed with Azkals management regarding extending Thomas Dooley's contract. This actually, I missed this piece of news, but apparently he's been extended.
Where have you been? That news was last year, pal.
Yeah, dude, it's Christmas, man. It's the holidays. My mind's been floating. I would assume that you're for this.
What, Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas Dooley's extension.
You know, I'll tell you what.
Wait, sorry. What is the extension? Is it just another year, or is
I
it
think it's a year.
just a year again? So it's short term.
None of the deals came out yet. Okay, so.
Oh, no details yet.
But I'll put it this way. Whether it's Thomas Dooley or whoever, Tom, Dick, and Harry, you get a national coach for a year contract. You know, that year contract is also in respect for the guy. If Thomas doesn't want to stay on, so there's no legal hold on him, right? So you have to think about that too. But the way I see as a coach, why the hell will we get one coach for 1 year? Did well, didn't win a year, Suzuki. Out, let's get another one. So what, you're going to wait until next Suzuki? Next Suzuki, same shit. Out. You have to have a program. You have to give Thomas Dooley the chance to continue with his plan.
Yeah.
Right? And you can see it. Daisuke, Amani, Patrick, Dayton, Rachel, all these guys. Although Rachel was there years ago. But you can definitely see that he's really getting, and all due respect, Thomas is the only national head coach, even including the locals of years past, who watches a lot of the UFL games.
Yeah, that's what I was going to throw
because
that in there. Yeah.
He asked me, like Sebastian or Jorge, when they're there and I'm sitting near them, they ask me, "Who's this boy?" So I tell them, "I know, forget it. He's Iranian. Forget it. He's, you know."
Yeah.
But you know, if they look, Hans, you see Filipino, things like that, because I can identify the UFA players. So you know, I just don't watch. Yeah. So how the hell will you get the players? What? Just wait for Dan Palami to get the players from abroad?
Yeah, certainly has been an aspect that's been missing for a long time. Watching the games and coming out to UAAP games, NCAA games, and spotting the talent. You said that's going to be the key.
And he's not the flashy guy, man. He's a cool dude. He's always in his freaking maongs and same shoes, same shirt all the time. You know, sorry Thomas, when you Jep rocks, you know, and he doesn't show himself walk in the middle in front of everyone. No, he's just at the back, quiet. That's how he's supposed to be, not you. Here.
Yeah. What about you, Armand?
No, mayabang talaga yun. Sorry.
What about you? Happy with the extension with Thomas Dooley? You think it's warranted?
Well, look, it's warranted with the results that you see on the field.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost bittersweet for me because of the demands he has on my players. But at the same time, what he's doing with bringing on the youngsters, having the confidence to play these younger kids and develop them like he's done with Amani. Even on a 1-year contract, usually a coach, if you're on a 1-year contract, you play your best and you just get all the veterans.
Right,
you know?
right.
He didn't care. He told my brother, he goes, "Look, I'm looking to get younger. I want to develop this kid as a right back, you know, you guys, you're better than him, but you're just not the future. You're old, you know, basically." And so you can't fault him for that, and you got to give it to him for being gutsy enough to tell a player face to face or over the phone or however it is, and to use these younger kids in these situations.
And that's what he said.
Yeah.
That's what he told us.
Yeah.
Remember when he guested on his first guesting? He actually said that. He says, "It's up to the federation if they believe in my program or what I see," which is true. This is what he's doing. Exactly what he told us.
Yeah.
If you guys don't want to believe me, especially with those bandwagoners and bullshit people, Go back to our first episode where Thomas Tulio is our guest.
Yeah.
And you will see what he told us then he's doing now.
So,
He's a man of his word.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. Come on, man. I mean, people say, just because you're a World Cup player doesn't mean... There are people also... okay, I agree. There are good players that cannot not necessarily become good coaches.
Alvin Ocampo.
Yeah. there are so-so players that can be very good coaches.
yeah.
I mean, there are goalkeepers who are head coaches. When you say, how can you be head coach if you're a goalkeeper? I mean, so what? You know, it's even if you never freaking played football, but you're a football addict, enthusiast, you know the game, you can coach. If you go to the courses, the licensing and all that, you do it. Look at me. I was into gymnastics. I didn't know anything about football.
No wonder you're so flexible. All the positions.
Especially prone. Anyway.
So congratulations to Thomas Tulio on the extension, and good luck butting heads with him in the next in the next year.
Yeah.
But hopefully the demands will be slightly less because of the fact that we're not preparing for a particular tournament, so maybe he won't be as rigid in that respect. But
No, but the World Cup qualifier.
yeah, I mean maybe the demands will be a little bit less.
The World Cup qualifier is 2 legs also.
I don't know.
I really
I don't know. I need to. I haven't seen any
It'll
of
be
the
interesting.
details yet.
Yeah, we'll update that when we find out.
Depends
as
on
well.
what group we're in, or else here we go again. I told you Thomas Tulio should be replaced.
Personally,
What if you end up in Japan, konyo? Korea.
Yeah. Personally, I'm happy to see it because not only have I seen the development, but watching the Azkals play in this Suzuki Cup was the most entertained I've been watching the team.
They played football.
Yeah.
You know,
Played
and
football.
It wasn't boring.
that's a big
Let's
deal.
put it that way. It wasn't boring watching the Azkals play.
And that's a big deal for kids to be able to watch and see that, hey man, we should be playing like this, not this long ball stuff from 2 years ago. If we not just about getting results, it's about playing football properly.
I'll tell you one thing.
I'll be interested to see
I can
that.
speak only for my own teams, my school teams, right? You'll be surprised if you see when high school players play. My kids, 13, 14-year-olds, up to 16, 17, I have a few. Oh, you'll see. You see them, a lot of the games that they watch on TV, UFL, Azkals, they imitate.
Yeah.
Okay? Of course, with a little guidance from the coaches. But when they can play now, not like before.
Yeah.
They can play the one-touch game.
Yeah.
Right.
Beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Beautiful
It's
to
gonna
watch.
be good, man. It's gonna be
I
fun.
mean, like our last UAAP game, not our last, basta against UE. I had a series of about 5 to 7 passes.
Yeah.
All one touch, one touch, one touch.
Nice.
Player inside the box.
Yeah.
You could have shot. Defend yet. He just just put it back. The guy comes in, gonna take a shot. Defense came out. He just tapped it inside. The goal was just as simple as that. That's the only goal that we won by what? 5-1, I think. 4-1 the first half. Of course, I let everybody play, but that goal, the only goal that I really stood up and applauded my player.
Right.
I said, "Wow, my golly, Barcelona!" No, I mean it's all one touch,
Right.
and it wasn't a slow attack.
Right.
Wasn't a slow attack. From the back line all the way to the mid, up to when the ball reached the attacking third and all that. Beautiful. Okay? You'll see this now, but you don't see that years ago.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that Lasal, I'm not making yabang, I'm just giving an example before anybody goes and says shit again. What I'm saying is, it's not only my team. Even the new teams, like Adamson, is a new team in the UAP. First time after more than 10 years. They play good football.
Right.
Okay? This, of course, you need to credit the coaches, number one. But the coaches have seen the Azkals play and UFL teams play.
Yeah.
And when you watch games, why like this? If you're, like I keep on saying, if you're worth your football, because of how experienced you are, but you love the sport, you know what it needs, what it takes, and you see it, that's the development. But like again, we go back again, it's a shame though,
Yeah.
that our grassroots, it's up to there.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not being noticed, it is not being supported, nurtured. It's a private thing.
Yeah. We're gonna have to have an episode dedicated specifically
grassroots.
to
It's so
that.
easy.
Yeah,
Why
for
don't we
sure.
just study?
Yeah.
Some other countries program.
Yeah.
No, don't. Okay, you can study Singapore, study Thailand, study Indonesia. Don't put them together. Study which one.
Pick the best.
Which is for us.
Yeah, which one Taylor fits us.
Yes, which fits us.
We're gonna have to get to finish off the rundown real quick.
Okay.
Just
a rundown.
Yeah, just a bit of an update on the UAAP football. As of the moment, Ateneo Blue Eagles are at number 1 with 10 points. Ooh. Just behind them in second place is De La Salle.
I'm from
De La Salle Green Archers. Good job there, coach. At 8 points. FEU, there you see if you see it on the screen, FEU is next, and then NU Bulldogs. UP, surprisingly, in 5th place, but not very far away. 6th is UST, 7th is UE and Adamson. The new boys are at bottom place with 0 points as of the moment. Still all very tight. You guys are going to be playing, what is this, a double round robin?
Yeah.
Double round robin. So, basically just about halfway through.
I still have 3 games.
Everyone has 3 games.
Just about halfway through the first round. So
no, that's wrong because
still have plenty to play.
Today there's still 2 games. So that's wrong.
Okay, all right. So there you go. That's the standings for the time being. In the women's, things not looking so good there, coach. But it's only been 2 games, right? UP is at top as of the moment with 6 points. FEU, Ateneo, UST, and La Salle all with 3 points. So it's all very tight as of the moment. Just 5 teams competing in the women's division. All right, let's move on to just our guest. You know, we haven't had a chance to. We've been talking a lot about Philippine football.
No, that's it, man. Let's go.
I'm really interested to find out what it's been like for you. The transition. Obviously, you were still playing in last season.
Yeah.
So your career finished. What was it? The start of this year.
It finished July, actually.
Right.
Yeah. Well, basically what happened was last August in the Clear Dream match, I had a partial tear of my ACL. Right. So I missed from about August until January, February. I didn't get it operated on. I just did strengthening. So for the first maybe 2 months, I could barely bend and do all of that. Oh. But by November, I could start running already, and I was doing a lot of strengthening in Fred's gym, and it really helped. You know, went through a routine with Fred to strengthen my legs and everything, and it helped. But then, come season, I felt great in the beginning. My first game for the league, we played global. We beat them 4-1. I played 30 minutes of that game. Right. 4-0, I think, you know.
Yeah.
And that whole first round, we swept the whole first round. And then towards the middle of the season last year, my legs, I wouldn't know if they would. One day they'd feel great, and then the next day they'd feel like shit. You know, so
that's what they say. Age creeping up.
Yeah, exactly. You think that okay, it's maybe I won't practice so hard today, so that way tomorrow it'll be okay. But no, man. My last 3 games of the year, I'd go to practice and I'd feel great in practice, and then the next day I'd take it easy, and come games, I would have a hard time running because my legs just felt heavy. Right. I don't know if it's because of my knee or my head, my age, whatever, but that's when I kind of knew.
All of the above.
Yeah, exactly. That's when I kind of knew that, look, it's hard to play at this level, you know, with these legs. And
you're just lucky to have been playing the last 2 years.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm just happy. The last 3 years, I only took football as seriously as I've taken it for 3-4 years. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, you look at me, I was about probably 175 pounds of fat and chubbiness, you know. And then, you know, I skated by without really working hard, you know. And to stay in this level, I had to work. Not only in training, but after training, I'd be working in gyms. I'd be working, you know, just to get my core, my strength, and everything. And that's the only time I realized this is how hard you have to work to be able to stay and play at this level.
Right.
And so the last 4 years, if I had practice on the field 3 times a week, I'd be in the gym doing core exercises, doing other fitness, because in my last 2 years in Loyola under Vince, I didn't play much. You know, he didn't give me much of a chance, and I had to stay fit just to be game shape when he called me. So you know, when we went to Singapore my first time last year, it was an amazing experience. I got on, played 45 minutes in the second half. We were down 2 men, and we just needed to win by 1 goal to tie it and go into penalty kicks. We were up 1-0, then they tied 1-1. Then when I came on it, they scored. We were down to 9 men, so we were down, I think, 2-1. Then we tied it 2-2. Yeah. We were down 3-2, then we tied it 3-3. You know, and we were down to 9 men, and we were still attacking and attacking. And that's when I knew, hey, I'm 33 years old, 34 years old, and I can still play with these guys here in Singapore. I felt great, confident, you know, my body felt good, I was playing well, and then 2 months later I tear my ACL, and it's like, yeah, exactly. You know, so I just knew that towards the end of...
The Lord just wanted you to enjoy the last 2 months.
I'm just glad that my last game, I won my last game out there. It was close to being a freaking tie, you know, but Waco got that last-minute header, and we beat that team over there, you know. So it just so happened the last game I played was versus the team I spent most of my career with, right? And it's just a fitting end to everything, you know. So fun.
And well, how's the transition been? Moving in, and how did that come about? And
you know, in the middle of the season, our manager had to stop for one reason or another. I don't know why.
Who was the manager?
Carlo Rodriguez. And so for one reason or another, he stopped, and they were looking for. And then in the middle of one game, Fred and I, Randy, on the sidelines, and in the middle of a freaking game, Fred goes, why don't you try Armand as the manager? I looked at Fred, I wanted to say, you fucking asshole. Right? I go, no, let me finish the season, I want to play, and we'll take it up at the end of the season. And it just happened, like every game, the topic would come up, and James would say it, Simon would say, hey, that would be a good idea, you know, and they were kind of pushing me in that direction.
Yeah, that's a subtle way of saying, get the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. They're saying, you're too old, you're great, you have great eye for talent, and you're a football guy, you can help the team better that way. Thanks. But yeah, it's what happened. And
wait, Armand, you want me to tell Jing? Nobody watches the show anyway. About the first time I saw Armand. You want me to bring it up, George?
oh my God.
George, did you know?
Oh man.
bring it.
George, call me. Text. If you want to know the story. You want me to bring it up?
Oh God. Come on, man. Now I'm intrigued.
I moved back in '97 from the States, so as an boy. And my mom was saying, LaSalle or Ateneo? I go, and I told her, whatever has the best football program. And so Coach Hans, off of a couple of years of winning UAAP and the hot name out there back then, and so she goes, okay, LaSalle. And so I'm straight from my flight back in September into the semester, and she just brings me onto the field. And before I even took my exam or anything, and my mom was the one who brought me out there. And
yeah, she just walked in the freaking center of the field in the middle of training. The mom here with the little boy in hand.
Right.
You know, hi coach. I have my son here. He just finished high school. He wants to play for LaSalle. And then the mom was even worse than the dad.
Why?
Oh, she would go away to the fourth official to the table and berate the referee face to face.
Yeah.
I said, Armand, take your mom out of there.
My mom is very passionate about football.
Okay.
She's very, especially, I mean, it's been part of us since we were 5 years old. She coached Anton's when Anton was younger, and you know, so she was always at our games, always hands-on for football, and so she thinks she knows a lot about football, and we just let her be.
And then Anton came after a few years. Armand del Rosario. And then Luis also started out, the freaking laziest by the younger one. Coach, I'm gonna try out, just sure. He showed up once or twice, that's it, Conyo.
Out of shame, because he doesn't have the stamina or anything like that, you know. He thought, oh, I'm so good, I'm a Del Rosario, I can do it. You know, he didn't realize
you remember
a little bit of work.
Uni games, were you still playing? Or did you graduate and Anton just arrived? You were still playing?
No, I'm still playing, yeah.
So I said, listen, since Anton's training with me already, Bring him to Bacolod.
Yeah, we brought him.
Okay, bring him to Bacolod. So I check the eligibility and all that shit, right?
I think it was Dumaguete that time.
Dumaguete.
Yeah.
Then I found out Anton could play. So all that he used, all borrowed. He was eligible. He's eligible, you sure? I'm this player. Yeah, he's eligible. Okay, puta. Anong size papatos mo? What's your size? Jersey, give me a freaking jersey. Because I always bring the other training team also, players. I don't bring only 18, 20, I bring about 25. So, okay, sorry ka. Dito, lend me your jersey, lend me your uniform, shoes, socks, everything, man. He didn't even freaking support us, Konyo.
What do you mean?
Nothing. He was there as a tourist.
Okay.
Who ended up playing.
What was it like playing for Coach Hans?
It was,
Careful, it's my show.
It was very fun and interesting. You know you're one of his favorite players when he slaps you. So I got the slap a couple times. the one memory. Every time I played Ateneo, I had a goal in every game, and of my 4 years playing. And there was one game we were playing. The next game was Ateneo, and being a kid and I missed practice. I'm in frickin' the mall with my girlfriend, and this favorite player, ex-player of mine, calls Coach and says, "Coach, Armand's here." Tells on me. Fucking guy. You don't know?
I don't remember.
Who's the guy that took me to the judo room?
Okay.
All right. Anyways.
No, that's not judo room, the classroom, Konyo.
I thought that was the judo
Okay.
room. I was fresh. Anyways, so next game comes, Ateneo, end of the bench. I think it was the close game. We were losing 1-0 or tied 0-0, and I was like, fuck, I want to get in this game. Game. He taught me a lesson. So I didn't miss any more training after that, man. Fuck.
Even my best players, you fucking miss a practice.
Yeah.
One practice before the game, like for example, you miss Friday training, the game's on Sunday.
Yeah.
You're just gonna sit out.
Yeah.
You can ask Ali. Ali go.
Yeah.
Ask him also. I taught him a lesson when he was only 16. Championship match.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said nobody goes to the fair, school fair.
No.
You need to rest, right?
Yeah.
So they thought went home. I live nearby. I come by at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
He's still there, out, with some of his other teammates.
But
In his barkada. Next game, the other coaches that were watching from the other schools, they're looking at me. Because he was the best player.
Right.
I think he was the best player at his age,
Right.
around the whole country. Ali. Everybody got shocked. I put him in maybe the last 15 minutes, maybe, just to let him sweat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I knew we would win anyway. We were leading already without him, just to prove to a point.
Yeah.
Another one that I berated for about more than a year was Patrick Bocobo.
Yeah, Pat.
Patrick Bocobo, very striker, ibang klase. He can score 5-6 goals in a game.
Yeah.
Before the championship also, he ended up playing basketball for his badge. Then I came over. Worst thing, he broke his leg.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he hit behind the skirt of his girlfriend.
Worst case scenario. Wow.
Ask him, I don't think he'll forget that.
It was.
I think you can ask a lot
Yeah.
of my former players what they had to go through. I mean, there's a lot of characters, but what is nice here is the success that these guys got. Like, I'm proud of Armand. He played continuously, then now he's a manager. He's still there. I've got Candice del Rosario, who by the way is on the way, finally.
With
Good
a
job,
boy.
everybody. Good job,
Yeah.
everybody.
Tiago, congratulations.
Kala ko baog si Avery anyway. Candice is football fanatics.
Yeah, I just thought.
I said, I told her, stick to your own program.
Yeah.
Don't anymore jump and copy the others. You're doing fine here. Peter Ramores, Foot Caleros. If you don't know, Foot Caleros, the ones in Tondo. And yung para sa bayan thing in Cebu,
Cebu, yeah.
that's Peter Ramores. That's all football also. Armand, Andis, who else?
Ali go.
Ali used to be the head coach of Ceres.
Yeah.
He is now the director. Okay, quite a number of people that came out.
Alvin Ocampo coaching.
Alvin,
Yeah.
I have another few coaches around, players who are coaching also. who have their own football programs. Not here only, but also abroad. Believe it or not, the one that's moving in Saipan is a player of mine who's not even, he watches at Jersey. He wasn't even my first team player. He had a job in Saipan. I think he quit his day job in full time now.
Really?
Yeah, and by the way, whoever read my post that I forward from him, they're looking for somebody who can work in the IT business. Anybody's interested, PM me on Facebook or email me.
All right.
Yeah, it's a job, IT, at the same time who can play and can coach.
Okay.
So, I mean, you just go to my page in Facebook, you'll see it there.
All right. Man, we got to wrap the show up.
Yeah, I got to rush. I need to win the grand prize.
Everybody needs to get to their own place. Appreciate you coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime you want to come back, please come on by, and maybe we can talk a little bit about what it's involved in being team manager and the rigors.
Well,
of that.
you know what? I need a goalie. If you're out there, give me a call. Filipino, preferably. Yeah. I have a couple guys from Europe calling, but they're 18 or 17.
I know of a keeper. The name is Baba. Would you like to? He's keeper.
But yeah, man, good luck in the coming league. It's going to be a fun one, January.
I think we're going to be moved. I think the opening is going to be moved.
Is it going to be moved to Feb?
Yeah, because we are going to give way to the Smart. Smart Club.
That's another freaking topic of conversation, because now the Smart doesn't mean crap anymore.
Yes.
So
I mean, that's ridiculous. Funny. No, there's something going on.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's always a difficult time trying to fit everything into the podcast. But yeah, we did the best we could for the time being, and hopefully we'll see you guys again next week or whenever we do see you guys.
We're still trying to get the president of the PFF, Nono Maraneta.
That's gonna be good.
We'll try to get also Mariel Benitez. We'll talk about
Mariel, another one of your graduates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mariel.
Yeah.
Even Tasha.
Yeah.
Alquiros.
Yeah.
Even Anthony Suntay.
You're that old, coach?
Excuse me, I started young.
Didn't Amanda play for you?
Amanda.
Yeah.
Yeah, selections.
Okay.
Quite a number, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Without further ado, we gotta wrap this thing up. Thanks again to SSL Football Club and each and every one.
By the way, come January, I might have a Singapore team, Home United, and another maybe Indonesia or Maldives team coming out here. I need a sponsor. Anybody want to give me 2 million pesos to get them out here?
Hit me up. Last. Women, ladies, wait for it. I got a very big project for you. 12 teams, it's going to be in nationals. It's going to be done in Moguete.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants, speaking of sponsor, like Armand said, it's small budget only needed. About 4M. You can't okay?
This is like a Filipino goodbye. We've said goodbye like 3-4 times already. All right, guys. For real now.
By the way.
Thanks again to Sarasota Football Club and everybody who subscribes. Continue to follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. And we'll see you guys next time with a guest that we will find out.
Yeah. You will know when we know.
That's right. See you guys. Peace. Thank you.
The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.